Welcome back, guys, and in this video of our JavaScript nuts and bolts, I want to speak about object literals, enhanced object literals. I want to just give a clear, concrete example, and then we can be able to get this point home. Without further ado, let us dive in and see how to use enhanced object literals. So I'll create here an object using a function and this function, let us call this function create a const create person. So we'll use this function to create a person. And for this case, of course, it will be a function like that. And then let me just do like this and then like that. The first parameter that is going to be passed inside our function is going to be the name of the guy. And then we are going to have the age. And then we are also going to have the sport that this guy plays. And lastly, we are also going to pass another function inside this function. So this function will just be used to evaluate the sport that this guy plays. And so I'll call this function sport function. I think that makes sense. And now inside this function, we are going to do something very simple. We are going to create a person object. So const person. And of course, this is going to be an object like this. And then I'm going to say the name will be the name that will be passed up here. And then we shall have the age. The age will be also this age that will be passed through our function like so. And then we shall have, let us say we shall have a string, a two-string method that will actually concatenate the age and the name. So uh, this two string property will return a function. And so this will be a function like this. And then inside this function, I'm going to use object literals. And inside here, I'm going to return, let me use this dot name. In other words, I'll use the name that has been passed in this object. And then this dot name, and then I'll concatenate a space and then also attach, let us say this dot age like that. And then of course a semicolon. And also I'm going to add one more parameter here to this person object. And the way I'm going to do this is say person. And inside this guy, I'm going to use, let us pass a string and let us use, let us say plays, and then I'll attach this port that has been passed up there. So this object here will contain a property, let us say plays soccer, and this plays soccer will of course also be our function that we have passed on top here. So I'll copy this guy and paste him right here. So we have something like this. And then so far, I believe we are done. And so down here, I'm going to do something very simple. I'm going to say, let us create one person. Let us create an object for Sam. So I'm going to say const Sam, this guy here, is equal to, and I'm going to create the person using our method up there. And then inside this method, I'm going to pass the name of Sam, which will be, let us say Sam, and then let us use two names, Sam Brian. Then the age of Sam is going to be, let us say 20. And then let us say he plays soccer. So I'm going to pass soccer inside here. And lastly, we are going to pass a function. So a function like this. And then inside this function, I'm going to return, let us return of course, we'll use a literal template, and then I'll return, let me say, this dot name. I'll return his name, and then let us say Sam Brian is rude. So I'll return something like this: is very rude. Don't know why Sam Brian should be rude, but anyways, like so. And then down here, I'm just going to say console.log, and inside here, I'm going to say Sam. This will be Sam dot, let us say maybe name, like that. And so if we run this, we are getting this error. And so we are getting this error because I actually forgot to do what I forgot to return this object that is inside our guy here. So I'm supposed to return person like that. Then we'll be good now to go. So I'm supposed to do that. And then now if I run this code now, as you can see down here, we have the name Sam Brian, and this is because we are returning the name property from our object person. And so if again, let me just scroll and see, just clear this guy. And then down here, what I'm going to do, I'm just going to paste this line here just to make sure, just to speed up. And so I'm going also to return the age like this. And then let us say also I'm going to return the sport like this. And then also I'm going to return, okay, it doesn't have the property sport. So I'm going to return this function to string, and see it also populate because I've added this function. And so the last one that I'm going to return here is that I'm going to return our function here. And in this case, our function play and then concatenate the name of the sport that it plays. In this case, our function will be play soccer. I hope that makes sense. So will be play soccer like that. This should be double C. And then, of course, this is a function like this. And then now I run this code. As you can see, this is very interesting. We have the name Sam Brian. We have the age, which is 20. And then if we call the string, or rather the method toString, this one here, which concatenates the name and the age, it returns Sam Brian 20. And then we have our function here, which is this function that we have passed on the parameter here, which simply returns this name is rude, which is Sam Brian is very rude. And so, guys, you might be thinking that this is the best way to work with object, or rather creating object. But let us see how we can be able to simplify this code even to be much cleaner and much, just a very simple code that you can be able just to write in a couple of seconds. So the way you can do this, number one, is using what we call the object literals. So the object literals give you the power of not, again, repeating something like this. The only thing we'll pass here is the name, and in this case, you'll only pass the age, and then the object by itself will recognize that you're passing a property with the label name with a value name again. So you do not need to declare the property and the key here. And then inside here, we can use an empty function like this without literally passing the function name. And then we can now move our guy here. We can move him inside our function here and do something like this. So we can paste him here. And then once he's inside here, we can simply use the object literals by doing this and then removing this, and then now we can pass our variable as this, like so, and then do like this. And then instead of using an equal sign now, we can just use a full colon like this, and we will be done with this code. So, and now there is no need again to return this person down here. We can simply delete this guy here. And lastly, we can simply return this object without any label. So we can just say return like this. Just say return. And this, as you can see now, this is much shorter code. It is much cleaner and straightforward. And this will do the very same thing that we have done with the last code. If I run this code, expect the same output. Okay, sorry, I have a syntax error here. Is okay. And so, guys, I'm getting this error here. Which tell me syntax error. And actually, I'm not even with this. I can be able to even simplify this further by simply just removing this guy here, and this guy will be automatically a function without literally having the the full colons here. And so our guy, I believe, is now good. So let us run this and see. So if we run this now, just run this. So another error again. Let me just clean up this guy. So I do not have this guy person. Let me just clean it again. And so let us run again. And now everything is fine. And so this returned the same output that we had in the first function. But as you can look on this function, it is much shorter, much cleaner, and much easier even to understand. Guys, this is what I wanted to share in this video, how to use object literals. And this is how you can be able to apply object literals to clean up your methods, to clean up your objects, and just have a more cleaner code. And without, guys, as usual, please leave a like, leave a comment, subscribe, and until we meet again, bye-bye.